My husband almost lost me over a lawn dispute. Not drugs, not infidelity, just grass. Welcome to Willow Creek, Tennessee, where the HOA queen, Vanessa Hargrove, wields her measuring tape like a scepter. We moved here in the summer of 2024 to raise goats, mend fences, and savor the silence of our 15-acre haven. Instead, we got citations, threats, and a nosy tyrant who treated yard maintenance like a national crisis. What began as a petty fine spiraled into a showdown that'd make your jaw drop. You don't really know your partner until a sheriff's deputy storms your shed. Ever tangled with an HOA gone wild? I'd bet your story's got some twists. After 3 deployments in Afghanistan, my husband, Tom Carver, earned his quiet life. Our patch of Willow Creek wasn't just land, it was freedom, paid for with grit and a veteran's pension. I'm Lisa Carver, and I bought into his vision, turning our shed into a yoga studio for local women. We weren't hurting anyone, just living on our terms. That peace held for 5 months until we met our first real neighbor at the Winn-Dixie. I saw her first, by the avocados, her navy blazer crisp as a general's uniform. Her eyes locked on me like I was a target. "Excuse me," she said, her voice honeyed but sharp. "Are you the new folks at the old Whitaker place?" I smiled, polite but wary. "Yes, ma'am. I'm Lisa, this is Tom." Her gaze tightened, scanning me like I was contraband. "Vanessa Hargrove, Willow Creek HOA president. I trust you'll uphold our community standards." The way she said standards prickled my skin, but I kept my cool. "We're just here to live quietly with our goats." Goats hit her like a slap. Her lips twitched, and she typed something on her phone, muttering, "How pastoral." Pastoral sounded like a curse. As she clicked away, Tom whispered, "That felt personal, didn't it?" I nodded, catching her reflection lingering at the exit, watching us like a hawk. 4 days later, Vanessa stormed our gate, dressed like she was auditing a bank. Her blazer was gone, replaced by a power suit and a clipboard thick enough to stop a bullet. With our goats bleating softly behind her, she looked wildly out of place, like a CO lost in the sticks. "Mr. and Mrs. Carver," she declared, "I'm here for the mandatory resident compliance check." We hadn't signed up for any check, but she was already pacing our land, measuring grass with a ruler and tallying our goats like they were felons. After an hour, she handed us a 4-page list of violations: grass a 1/4 inch too long, livestock, obstructing scenic views. Each charge was absurd, but she delivered them with the weight of a death sentence. I stepped forward, my posture shifting to the alertness I'd honed years ago. "Ma'am, we read the HOA bylaws. There's no livestock limit for properties over 10 acres. Her smile was icy. "The rules evolve, dear. Standards must be upheld. Fix this in 30 days, or face consequences." As she strutted to her gleaming SUV, I tracked her every move, sensing she wasn't just inspecting, she was plotting. Tom caught my eye. "Lisa, she's not after our grass. She's after you." Vanessa's campaign became a masterclass in suburban sabotage. She was everywhere, lurking at our mailbox when I jogged by, snapping photos at the gas station, even tailing me to the library. Her clipboard and camera were constant, but her focus was unervingly singular: me. When I hung laundry or weeded our garden, there she was, across the road with binoculars, studying my every step like I was a puzzle she needed to crack. One evening, as we watched her snap pictures of our goats from behind a yield sign, Tom said, "This isn't normal HOA crazy, Lisa. This is something else." I lowered the curtain, my mind racing. "She's not documenting violations, Tom. She's studying Mimi habits, my routines. That's not neighborly. That's personal." My tone carried a certainty I hadn't voiced before, a relic of a life I'd left behind. Tom looked at me, curious, but I wasn't ready to explain. My response was subtle but sharp. I didn't confront her, I outmaneuvered her. I drafted a letter dissecting her violation notices, correcting every typo and grammatical slip with ruthless precision. "Dear MS. Hargrove, thank you for your correspondence. For clarity, I've amended several errors in your documentation." 2 pages of polite savagery followed, citing HOA standards and suggesting she proofread next time. It was a professional gut punch, designed to sting without breaking decorum. Vanessa's reaction was explosive. Within hours, she flooded city offices with complaints, dragging inspectors to our doorstep over nonsense like excessive fence weathering. While I stayed calm, documenting each visit with photos, timestamps, and notes, Tom was fraying. "Lisa, how are you so good at this? This isn't normal." I smiled, deflecting. "You learn a few tricks in high-pressure jobs." But his question lingered, and I knew I'd have to tell him the truth soon. The truth came via gossip at the feed store. Two women, unaware I was listening, spilled Vanessa's obsession. "She's got old articles, trying to prove that yoga lady's dangerous," one said. "My sister at City Hall says Vanessa's digging into some military mishap from 6 years back." Military mishap. The words hit like shrapnel. That night, I showed Tom a faded newspaper clipping I'd kept buried. "Local woman injured in naval training incident." The story was sparse. A trainee, Emily Hargrove, hurt in a drill, her career cut short. A single quote stood out. Instructor L. Morgan declined comment. Tom's eyes widened. "Lisa Morgan. That was you." I nodded, the weight of that day flooding back. Emily was Vanessa's sister. I failed her in a dive exercise. She broke safety rules, nearly drowned her partner. I had to protect others, but it crushed her dreams and Vanessa's never forgiven me. The pieces clicked. Vanessa hadn't moved here by chance. She'd recognized me, the woman who'd ruined her sister and turned our quiet life into her revenge. Before we could process it, her SUV rolled up, flanked by 2 official vans. She'd brought a posse, inspectors, code enforcers, the works. "She knows," I said, my voice steady but urgent. "Now we see how far she'll go." The inspection was a farce. 3 hours of nitpicking. Her shed obscured sight lines. Our goats loitered improperly. I answered every question, requested records, and pointed out procedural flaws, my composure unnerving the officials. Vanessa's smugness grew, but so did her frustration. She wanted me to crack. I didn't. That night, the phone rang. An officer, voice clipped, said they'd received a domestic disturbance tip. My heart sank. Vanessa had weaponized the police. "There's no issue here, sir," I said, but they were coming anyway. Tom's face hardened. "She's crossed the line, Lisa." I nodded, a strange calm settling over me. This is what she does when bureaucracy fails. She escalates. Let's see how far she pushes. Deputy Mark Sullivan arrived, late 40s, with a swagger that screamed small-town authority. His hand hovered near his holster, his eyes scanning me like I was a suspect. "Ma'am, we got a call about a disturbance. Reports of weapons training on your property." Vanessa's lies had painted me as a threat. I kept my tone even. "Deputy, my husband and I are alone. I run a yoga studio. Would you like to see my permits?" His gaze flicked to our shed, suspicion deepening. As we walked over, I mentioned our security cameras and offered my attorney's contact. Sullivan's unease grew. Wasn't used to civilians this composed. Inside, he saw yoga mats, weights, and my old training manuals. His demeanor shifted to hostility. "This looks like combat gear. You running some kind of militia?" I stayed calm. "It's fitness equipment, sir, standard for any gym." But he fixated on my manuals: diving, survival, tactical fitness. Something broke in him. "Step back, hands visible," he barked, voice cracking. I complied, stepping away, hands raised slightly. "Deputy, I'm following your orders." "What threat are you addressing?" My calm, procedural question pushed him over the edge. He drew his gun, aiming at my chest. "Hands behind your head now." Time slowed. Tom tensed, but I shot him a look. "Stay put." The woman facing Sullivan wasn't Lisa Carver, yoga teacher. It was Lisa Morgan, Navy SEAL instructor, trained to defuse chaos. "Deputy, my hands are visible. You're violating de-escalation protocols." "Name the threat." My voice was steady, authoritative, and it rattled him. He expected fear, not critique. His hand shook, but he didn't lower the gun. "Lisa," Tom whispered, but I held Sullivan's gaze. "Deputy, you're escalating without cause. Let's resolve this safely." My words, calm but firm, finally broke through. He holstered his weapon, muttering about misinformation, but I knew Vanessa had fed him a story that made me a monster. After he left, I documented everything: badge number, time, exact words. Tom stared, awestruck. "Lisa, where'd you learn to handle that?" I took a breath, ready to unburden. "I wasn't just a fitness trainer, Tom. I was a Navy SEAL instructor, teaching high-stakes survival diving, combat, crisis response. 8 years, training elites to survive the worst. His jaw dropped. You train SEALs? Why hide it? I sighed. People hear SEAL and think I'm a liar or a badass. I just taught survival. But Emily Hargrove was my student. She was reckless, endangered lives. Failing her saved others, but it made Vanessa my enemy. Over the next 3 days, I turned our kitchen into a war room: maps, timelines, evidence files, even profiles of Vanessa's allies. This looks like a military op, Tom said, half joking. I smiled. Not an op. A resolution. Vanessa had escalated to felonious false reports. Now I'd fight back with precision. My report photos, witness accounts, legal citations went to the sheriff, state attorney, HOA, and city council. By morning, officials were calling, eager for our side. Vanessa, desperate, filed for a restraining order, claiming we were stalking her. The irony was rich. The hearing was high drama. Vanessa strutted in, pearls gleaming, confident she'd won. I stood, not as Lisa Carver, but as Morgan, the instructor who'd briefed admirals. My presentation was surgical: a timeline of Vanessa's harassment, security footage of Sullivan's gunplay, testimony from her past victims. The knockout was an audio I'd recorded: Vanessa's voice, venomous. I found her, the one who ruined Emily's life. Now I'll ruin hers. The judge's face darkened. Vanessa gasped, her facade crumbling. I closed with calm authority. Your Honor, this isn't an HOA spat. It's stalking, fueled by revenge, endangering lives with false reports. The ruling was brutal: Vanessa's request denied, a restraining order against her, fines, and her HOA title stripped. Sullivan got desk duty. Vanessa and her husband slunk out of town, shamed. 6 months later, I'm leading Krav Maga classes in a veterans group. Our ranch is a community hub: barbecues, workouts, unity. Vanessa thought she was hunting a nobody. She found Morgan, the instructor who'd rather stay quiet but knows how to win. Sometimes, revenge isn't about destruction, it's about becoming who you're meant to be. And sometimes, justice needs a push from someone who fights smart. So what do you think? Was Vanessa a villain or a sister protecting her family? Should I have revealed my past sooner, or was staying quiet the right call? Have you faced an HOA tyrant or a personal vendetta? Drop your stories below, hit that like button, and subscribe for more real-life drama. Let's hear your take if things are about to get heated in the comments.